And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time pedal show. My name is Gabor, and it's time for some more unboxing and first impressions today. And today I'm looking at this. Now this is the brand new OPUS by 2 Notes, a multi-channel amp sim, dynamic II engine, TSM pre and power amp emulation, 32 virtual cabinets, 8 mic, 8 rooms, reverbs, audio enhancer, equalizer, dual IR loader, nose gate, tuner, immersive headphone experience, MIDI, wireless, and USB control, acoustic DI. OPUS. There's some inputs and outputs there. That's what the box looks like. Now, just want to mention right from the start, this was sent to me pre-release by the awesome people at 2 Notes. So this is what you would call a sponsored video. So what I thought I'd do today, there'll be other videos most likely released at the same time as this, of us looking at that. But what I wanted to do today is just get it out of the box, plug it in without looking at any manuals or anything like that, and see if I can get it working and get a good sound out of it, right? So this is basically, from what I can gather, it has the same sort of form factor as the Cab M, but it also has a preamp emulation in it. So the Cab M has power amp emulation, has reverbs, all that sort of stuff. With this, you also have preamp emulation, so this can be your amp, basically. But it can still, as you can see here, it still does that. You can still put it in between your, for example, if you have an amp head and cabinet, you can still put it in between and use it as a direct signal to go to the front of the house while you still have an amp on stage. It's not a load box, so you can't load a head with it, so you need a cabinet or another load box connected. But today I just want to look at it as a basically an all-in-one amp. I'm going to run pedals into it. I'm just going to run it direct and just see what it sounds like. So let's get it out of the box to begin with. Now this was sent to me, I think, from another reviewer, so it may not be exactly the way it looks when you guys get it, although it is actually sealed, so yeah, might be, I don't know. We'll find out. As far as I know, it was sent to me from another reviewer, but let's let's put it here and open up the box. So we've got OPUS Quick Start Guide, which is all this stuff on stickers. So we've got a quick start guide. We've got a French version, being a French company. Where is it here? We have the Revolt series, which there's a video for it up there, out of focus, but up there you can watch the Revolt series. We've got OPUS. So these are cabinets that come with it: Strongback, Roman Num, and Caliph. We've got a 2 Note sticker, and we've got the English version of the Quick Start. We'll look at that stuff later. Now let's see what's in here. So first up, well, it's in there, but let's just look at what's in here. So this looks like, this is kind of connected to there. This looks like we have a power supply on the other end of the power supply. Oh, this looks like a laptop style power supply. Wonder how much power it draws. Oh, and there's a, okay, so there's also a MIDI to like little TRS jack MIDI converter thing, because it is fully MIDI compatible. Power requirements are 12 volts, 2 amp. Oh, but it is an AC, so it's 12 volt DC. That's quite a serious power supply for 12 volt DC. And then we also have a USB, just a USB-C on one end and just USB, is it A? Is that what that one's called? USB type A? I think that's on the other end. A kettle cord, jug cord. So 12 volt, my power supply here has a 12 volt out. We're gonna try it with that. Okay, now, this is the actual thing. Let's do this here. So it is, yeah, it's the same form factor as the Cab M, but in black. And it has a few extra things. So let's check it out. Now I know a few people that use a Cab M in their live rigs, either using it almost like at the end of the pedal board as an amp kind of thing, or putting it in between a head and a cabinet, so you don't have to mic the amp up. But let's check this out sort of up close. So we have the screen, we've got the two controls up the front here, nothing really on the back. Now this is one of the interesting sides. So we have MIDI, we have an auxiliary in and a headphone output, we have a DI XLR output, and we have a line output. On this side, we have the USB-C, we have the power. Yes, a 12-volt DC 200 milliamp. That should be able to power it. That's, I think a lot of power supplies should be able to power that on a pedal board. Oh, and then here, so this you can either plug it in between. So you can, if you have an amp, the cable that you would plug into, or amp head that you would plug into your speaker, you could plug the cable from the amp to the speaker and then from here to the speaker. So this is the cable that would go from the amp to the speaker, goes into here, so from the amp into here, and then from this to the speaker. So it's not a load box. It won't. You have to have a load or a cabinet connected, but you can put it in between and use it as that. So you can still use it as that if you want. So it's basically a cab amp, I'm guessing, with extra benefits. Oh, and yeah. Okay. So now the question is, okay, first question is, can I now use my, okay, let's see if I can plug that into the 12 volt out that I have here on my, so I'm using, this is, I want to turn the lights on accidentally. This is a fuel tank by T-Rex that I bought this years ago, and it's been sitting here, and I've got a 12 volt DC output up the front. So let's see if that either blows up the thing or powers it. Nah, powers it. Okay, so that's good. Good start. Walk the Panther. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is let's plug it in. So I have already pre-prepared here. I have a that's not going to happen. It's just an XLR cable. You can see it here. That I'm going to plug into the DI out. So that XLR cable goes straight into my Audient ID44 interface. So this is just, there's nothing in between, no amp or anything in between. So what I wanted to do is, first of all, just plug this in and just use it going direct. So we're going from instrument in here. Okay, so now I'm basically coming, this cable comes from I have a Peterson Strobostomp HD tuner that's always on my desk, goes into here and now straight out into the Audient ID44 interface. Now, the other thing I wanted to do, I already have a pre-prepared USB-C cable here as well, this side, and I wanted to connect this. Okay, and now the screen should be up to, which at the moment is Logic on, but I can now turn on, hopefully, Torpedo Remote, which is a beta early version of it, to work with this. Disclaimer, this is a beta version, yeah. Oh, it's thinking. Okay, so here it is. So it comes up, oh, declaration of ownership. Well, let's just do, oh, actually it's register quickly. Okay, it's been registered. This is what it looks like. This is the interface. So basically you have, if you've used two-note stuff before, it kind of looks the same. It's just black. It used to always be white. Everything was white, but this is black. So basically here you have the room, you have the cabinet, you have your input level, you have a gate. This is the new part, preamp. So we have, in a preamp, we have a Foundry, a Foxy, an Albion, a Nifty, and a Peggy, which is a bass thing. And I think it goes Foundry, Foxy, Albion. Foundry, I think, is a Fender style. It looks like it. Foxy is, I think, is a Voxy style. Albion, I think, is a Marshall style. And Nifty 50 is a, well, something with a 50 in it style, a high gain sort of amp. So you can choose the different preamp section. You can choose, and I clicked stuff by accident. You can choose your power amp action, power amp section. You have your two microphones. You have the preset level and the overall output level. You have an EQ section which you can have on and off. You have your enhancer section, which if you used two-note stuff before, you probably know what that is as well. And you have your reverb section. These are the presets, and you can look at the presets that are on the actual thing. So these are all the presets that are on it, and these are presets that are on the computer. So for example, I have access to angle cabinets and stuff that I have on here. But we're just going to look at what's on the actual thing. So all you got to do is register it for free, and then basically you should have the same things that I have. These are the cabinets. You have different, even a 1x6. Look at that. Anyway, let's just try it out. So this is basically, actually, was set to Nifty 50, wasn't it? Actually, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's start. One Fried Lexi. Let's just go through some presets and see what they sound like. So this is just using that, nothing else. And to begin with anyway, I'm going to use this Fender Aerodyne Special Series. Oh, look how reflected it is. You can see the tuner there. A Fender Aerodyne Special Telecaster in California Blue, which is just a lovely color. So again, that goes from here straight into my Peterson Strobostomp HD tuner. From there, with that cable into here, and from here via XLR straight into my ID44 interface, and then straight into Logic. So I haven't heard this yet. This is my first time as well. This is one of these presets. This is what it sounds like. And it is rather quiet. Okay, so just got to get the volumes right, but... Just got to turn the volume up in here a little bit. That's more like it. All right, that sounds pretty cool. So that's a Friedman 412 vintage cabinet. That's volume. So you can see it on the screen if I move it here. That moves on the screen too. That's the volume. See now, for example, with this, let's turn the EQ off. For me, it sounds better without the EQ. It was a bit bright. That sounds great. Now let's say we want a little bit more reverb. So with reverb, see, you have, if you've used it before, you have tons of reverb. You've got Studio A, Studio B, you've got the Cathedral plate. It's a plate. Darken it a bit. That sounds great. So you can change also on the amp. You can do the gain down a bit. Crank the bass a bit. You can go, you know what? I don't want 6L6s. I would like EL84s. In a triad, not penta. Want a little bit more depth. So that's kind of like a depth control on the power amp section. So what is it called? On amps, it has not the presence control, the other one. I've got a brain fart at the moment. But it's like a depth control. So you can change tubes. So you can go, I don't know, KT, single-ended KT88. That sounds really good, actually. Maybe turn it down a bit. Then like always with this stuff, you can change microphones. So you can say, I want to, instead of a dynamic 7B, I want a dynamic 57. Let's do the you know, the what everyone does, the 57 and a 121. So if you push that down, you go into the menu. Okay, there's a menu. So you can do everything you do on here, but I think the best way to go about it is you set everything up on a computer, stick it on here, and then just do minor tweaks. But you can select, so for example, on here as well, so you can select a preamp, power amp on, miking. So we could go into miking. Oh, hang on, do you have to push the other button? Yeah. So here you can change. So to change cabinets, you can do it on the fly. You can change your EQ. You can do all that on here as well. But I mean, that sounds really good to me. Let's check out, for example, I mean, we've got EQ, we've got all that. We can change all this. Let's just change a cabinet. So let's go, what other 4x, oh, I want a 4x15. I know they're not on here. But I want to see stuff that's actually on the Torpedo. Oh, not online, sorry, just on Torpedo. 4x12. What about, I don't know, I want Lynch, the Lynch one. Sounds really, really good. Now let's try, okay, let's just change now the preamp. Let's change, you can turn it on and off with that as well. So that's the Albion. Let's go to Foundry, which is, I guess, more clean. So maybe we don't want a 4x12 orange style cabinet, George Lynch orange style cabinet. Maybe we want, I don't know, blonde 63. And maybe we want, because it's a Fender style thing, we want push-pull 6L6. Let's see, single-ended 6L6. And we want, instead of plate reverb, I would like a spring reverb. Size a bit smaller. And again, you can change all the microphones, you can do all you want. Let's look at a couple more presets. So this was the One Fried Lexi, Atomic Punky. Let's find something clean. Rebel Scream. Oh, it's like a Steve Stevens cabinet. So they, I don't know if you know with 2 notes, but they actually go to people like Steve Stevens and capture his speakers, and Dave Friedman collection and Pete Thorne and all these people. They go to there, and George Lynch. Let's go next one. Jimmy in the Manifold. So far, all Albion. Oh, there's a Foxy. Garage Rock O'Clock. This is a very hot Vox style amp thing. Listen again. Let's look at a couple more presets. I mean, it's not the right guitar for this sort of stuff. Nifty 50. There's a clean one. A little bit of country. Now there's also then a tuner. Oh, look at that tuner. We're in tune. Which is also on here. So, and I mean, it doesn't have switches, but via MIDI, I guess you can control that. If you have a switcher board or something, you can use that as your tuner. But I mean, this is all just that thing. All the sounds you hear. Feels really good, actually. It's... Now let's try the same sounds with the humbucker guitar, just to see how different it is and how different guitars sound different through this. So this is my Fender Japan Elemental Series, on the cable, Elemental Series Jazzmaster, which is lovely, and in white, matte white, it just looks awesome. Same sounds on the neck pickup. Into the middle for that more twangy thing. Let's do a couple more presets and then run some pedals into it. Like a rolling start. Let's see if there's any presets that sound interesting. Pulp the Fiction. With a Pete Thorne signature cabinet. I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of different sounds on here. Stone Age Queens. Yeah, there you go. Maybe a few more. Sizzling Hot Cali Pepper. I mean, the variety of sounds is pretty cool. Verb Explosion, yes. With a Phil X signature cabinet. There's a lot of reverb there. Okay, I want to find a nice, clean, maybe slightly overdriven. Let's go back to On Fried Lexi. But I want to go, okay, let's go Foundry. Let's go that sort of Fender sound. Let's get a 2x12 cabinet. Let's go PT15 signature 2x12. Why not? 606s. There's a lot of high end there. Oh, that's the dial here. There's lots of high-end dial in. Let's just say that's quite nice. I quite like that sound. Let's grab a couple of pedals and plug them in and see what they sound like. Alright, so all the same settings on the Opus. I just introduced this pedal now, which is the BSX by Mozztronics. There's a full video for it up here, which is basically a Marshall style drive in a brown sound in a pedal and a Tube Screamer style pedal. Let's see what it sounds like running pedals into the Opus. So that's the sound. Sort of a that's the way I would use clean, slightly driven clean. a little bit. If you dig in a little bit crunchy. So let's go. Let's start with the tube screamer. Let's see if we just boost the bejeebers out of it. So that's just a clean sound. So let's gain all the way down, volume all the way up. Let's crank the tone a bit. Really well. Let's do again. This is the clean sound. Now that's a little bit maybe noisy. And you have the learn function on the gate. We turn it up ever so slightly. There you go, gate one. Takes pedals quite well. Now let's get let's do a really dirty sound. So let's go to nifty 50. Let's get a really driven sound. Let's go, for example, cabinet. We want a 4x12. We want let's go like the angle thing. Angle. A single-handed or push-pull 6L6. So that's, I mean, that's just, again, that's not any pedals, it's just coming out of that. With that sort of angle cabinet. Now let's see if we can do the thing with the tube screamer. Gain down, volume up. We really gotta use a guitar with low tunings back in the set. Now this is my an old Carvin, which would now be called Kiesel, but is from the Carvin days, a Carvin CT6 California carved top. I don't know if they still make them or not, but in Coca-Cola brown, as I used to call it, with some Fishman Fluence modern pickups in it, in drop C tuning. Let's just see what it sounds like with that same sound. Maybe you want the gate to be a bit harder. can't do the dissonant thing, I don't know. Maybe for this we want more of a Studio A is a bit small. Oh, sorry, that's not even the tube. No, that's engaged tube screamer. Ah, I thought the tube screamer was on. It was off. That sounded great. That's just that. Nothing else. And then, I mean, you can sculpt the EQ whichever way you want. You can change cabinets. I mean, it makes drastic difference. It's got a Friedman cabinet. Probably just because I'm used to it now, sort of, but I think that angle. I think it sounded pretty good. I mean, that was just literally just a first look. I think there may be more videos coming out simultaneously as this one that you're watching right now. But this is a first look, first plugin. I didn't look at any instructions, no manuals. I just saw this. I got an email where they told me about the preamps. You know, you have the Foundry, super clean, the Foxy, the Albion, the Nifty, and then the Peggy, the bass one. We might do some bass videos with it too. But yeah, that's that. And then of course you can always, with this stuff, you can load your own IRs. You can there's the AR manager. You can bring ARs in. You can get them from wherever you store them. You can different presets, different cabinets. You can take because the thing is you can only store a certain amount of stuff on it. Actually, does this have a SD card slot like the other one? I don't know. Don't think so. But you can store a certain amount of IRs or dynamic IRs, dynamic IRs on here, and then you got to kind of import them from the computer and stuff like that. That's what you do with the cabinet manager. We go to that. So all up, I'm impressed. I think this is really good. So you can use it like this, but you can also turn the preamp and the power amp off and just use it as an IR loader for I don't know, amplifiers. So you can still run amplifiers through it. So you can, if you have a like that Fender head, the cable that comes out of the Fender head in the back, the speaker cable goes into this. And then it goes out of that into a speaker, or for example, if you have a load box, you can't see it, it's behind the guitar stand there, but there's a load box, 2 notes Captor, not the Captor X, the old Captor is down there. You could run that into that, and then this can go to the front of the house. So I've got a good friend, Rob, hi Rob, if you're watching this, who uses the Cab M, for example. He has a Mezzo Boogie head and his cabinets on stage, but he runs it in between. So instead of putting mics on the cabinets, he runs this, or the Cab M version of this, which gives him a consistent amplifier, mic'd up amplifier sound for his front of house. So people use it like that, and you just plug it in between those two for that. But with this, with the new TSM preamp amplifier section, you can just stick that on your pedal board and use that as an amplifier. Now, from what I gather, via MIDI, you can switch all this stuff, so it doesn't have switches on it. But if you're using a MIDI controller of any sort, or even like a loop switcher, like an ES8 or the Morningstar stuff or any of that stuff, via MIDI with one of those cables, you can do all that. You can change all that. So you can have, you know, switch between amps, switch between cabinets, do all that sort of stuff. Awesome. Big thank you to Two Notes for sending this out to me. I think this is a really, really cool product, and I like the black. It looks good. A bit of a change from all the white stuff always with Two Notes. Yeah, so if you like what we do, why not subscribe? If you made it this far into the video, please subscribe. About 90% of all our viewers are not subscribed. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Big thank you to Two Notes. And I'm going to leave a playlist with some Two Note stuff that we've done. I think we've done a bunch of Two Note stuff. I'm going to leave that here. So please check that out and see you in the next one. Bye.